Good morning, all of you. Keep joining, keep joining. If you trust me and do the live class every day, it's going to make a huge difference in your exam preparation. These 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 11 to 1:30, quality good notes we are preparing and all the past exam papers we are solving. Today we'll be completing house property and starting with business head. Okay, every day we are starting with some pearls of wisdom from past batch students who are now my colleagues as chartered accountant. I welcome today here Pallavi. Pallavi, you are there. Teachers Roj bolte hain and students. Good morning, Pallavi.
Together.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you mute your background? Some sound is coming here. Yeah. Pallavi is my student from 2012 batch. She's in her work mode right now. 2012 batch, Pallavi joined with me CA Inter with a lot of experience of working in corporate earlier and an inspiring story of then taking U-turn, leaving the job in Bangalore and then deciding to pursue CA. She continued post-qualification, worked last 2 years in an audit firm and now joined PwC. So Pallavi, as a teacher, it's my duty to guide the students every day on track. I'm doing that. You give them inputs, what better, because you all have been the students at their place right now. They are preparing for upcoming exam, November exam. Some CMA students are preparing for December exam. So what is your takeaway from this experience, your journey in this profession? Do share your inputs. Over to you.
Good morning, ma'am, and good morning to everyone, to all my friends over there. So, firstly, it's my pleasure being taking this opportunity to tell my experience. So, it's always been a pleasure to tell, just explain my things over the journey of CA. So coming to the journey part, so as ma'am said, I just left my job when I started CA Inter. So, and I came to ma'am, although I did not get the opportunity to learn all the subjects from her, because the batches were over, I just took only 2 subjects. But the quotes, the important thing to be noted here is, but I wrote all the exams, booster exams, test of other subjects as well, because that is one of the important thing which helped me. So as I took only 2 subjects from her, coaching as a part of a coaching. But when in that period, as I realized that the test and exams are going to help, I just thought that yes, I should follow for other subjects as well. So I took the notes from ma'am, from my other students, my colleagues, friends, and then I just went through, and we all I gave the test like any other student, all the test for all the subjects, and I gave the final exam also. So once you clear from, you get a good marks from the ma'am, I would see that you easily crack the exam at the final exam as well, because one of the important thing maybe one has as a student you need to understand is like the time management. So time management is something we always believe that we know this answer, but when it comes to the time of executing the same, we always lack it. So if you keep practicing here in the form of a test or exams, that will definitely help. So that is one of the key takeaway from all the booster test series and exams and everything. And also the small points like what all ma'am says in the form of short notes and all. And, even the simple things like, marking the problems to, give a revision at the time of, while doing one day before your exam, because there will be one problem that the ma'am will tell you, which has all the adjustments. So if you do one such problem before your day, so you're actually hitting some 8 to 9 concepts in one problem. So those are the key elements which you should never miss, because that is the thing which will give you Maybe that may be a 16-mark question or 8 marks question or 4 marks question, but that will be a very important things. So these are the small things, like when it comes to theoretical part, underlining few words, even those may think are like highlighting few of the words, like for the auditing part or any law part. So these are the few things. This will definitely help you in giving the extra marks. So I have loved that session like anything. So, and actually we all our batch students always miss that, because we did not get the opportunity to learn finals from the ma'am at that time. We actually, missed that test and exams, because we were used to that school kind of a concept where we had a teacher who correcting at every point of time at every chapter. So you are doing a revision unknowingly 2 to 3 times with the ma'am. So what you do apart from that is something different. So when you are with ma'am, you unknowingly are doing 2 to 3 times of revision, which will definitely help. So these minute things, like doing the problems, marking the things, this will definitely help in adding the value. And the example, like, it's not about myself, but it's about the ma'am coaching. So as I said, I had only 3 months of study period for me since I came at the last time. So, and I cracked 2 groups in a single attempt in the CA inter, and I got exemption in the auditing, which I took from ma'am. And highlighting part is I am actually a practical student. Like, I love doing accounts, where auditing is something is not my area.
That's the
As it is a
mindset.
theoretical, but that is something because of the comfort which I got, where my even the hardest subject has become a easier subject, and I got the exemption. So you can just think of the other part, like how it gonna help being with ma'am for all the other subjects. So please do not miss the opportunity of when a guidance you are getting from the ma'am, because I know the value of each mark as well. Because when in my finals, even I gave
Yes.
multiple attempts. So we always regret that we didn't had these corrections. Had I been got these corrections in my tests or final exams, maybe I would not have taken these sessions. So, and because it's not just about the test, because when you get the paper back from the ma'am, she gives with the comments, when as you get from the CA valuation from our exam part as well. So this will definitely help you, and this might, you never know, the question which ma'am gives in your test and exams might be your same question in your final exam also.
Yes,
It did happen.
absolutely.
It happened with our sessions only. It's not just one subject, it's 2 to 3 subjects in accounts and all. I still remember, like, by looking at the question paper, we had a very big smile, because the balance sheet is always a horrible, but we got one problem which ma'am has given in our one of our test series. So it was something, a smile on our place, when all other students were, in a tension mode at the time of looking at the paper. So keep practicing the things, keep the very key point, once I'm repeating once again, with the time management, either it is a theoretical or a practical subject, always. So although we know the answer, we cannot execute the same with a given time. And each, as ma'am says, each question has a limited time. You cannot exceed beyond that. So those things help in, when you are with ma'am and when you are following these steps. So that's the key takeaways, and that's the points which I learned from ma'am, and I am always grateful for that, ma'am. So thank you for
Thank
this
you.
opportunity, and I wish all the subjects all the best to the students, and have a happy learning from ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you, Pallavi. So glad to see you now as my colleague. Dear students, looking forward to see you all also like this. Pallavi and I, we attended recently the Prerna and all the training also together. So it's so nice to be, and you have really reminded me of the point I have forgotten. This is the communication I have received from so many values also. They say that in the theory, at least the clue words. See, you're not always writing the side heading and elaborating. So sometimes if you're writing
the
running
adjectives
points,
part,
advantage is just underline the clue words. That's what she said is very important. Writing the chapter wise exam, and Absolutely correct. However good your knowledge is, what you are revising one day before exam, right now you have to mark and keep.
Yes.
Okay, put a stick on or marking ki this I'm going to cover up, and 3 hours of exam. And though you took coaching for 2 subjects, you're saying you cleared all. It is not because of me, it is because of that right mindset. I'm always saying it's 40% of your knowledge, 60% of your mindset, what you maintain in the 3 hours of exam, and you're surely going to complete. So for that only we are doing all this training and practice. Thank you so much. Your
Thank you,
job
ma'am.
is
Thank you.
ongoing of your job. You
Yeah.
spared time
So
and you
I'm
are
in,
here.
in the middle of the meeting. Thank you once again.
Thank
I wish all
you.
the best to the
Thank you,
students.
Pallavi.
Bye. Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye, dear. Thank you. Just 1 minute.
Yes.
All right. So here we continue with house property. Today it went little longer, otherwise it is 5 minutes of the pearls. But see how much students are feeling. You can see their feeling because they have been students like you. Pallavi was like in finals also, ma'am, please take the test and all. I could not, but whatever I could, I always did mentoring for Mohini, Pallavi. Tomorrow you will meet Bharat, Vrinda, all my students. So this is like such a valuable asset. I'm feeling like a home learning. They have taken all coaching with me in these years. And it is still date. If once you trust me, I will never let it down. I will make sure you clear your exam with exemption. And I've shown you yesterday Nilima's marks. Exemption is not 60s, 80s के नीचे हमको बात ही नहीं करना है ना? चलो, let us now begin with house property revision, what we have done yesterday, and format and all we have completed. And today we will then take up pre-construction interest concept added on, problems of partition that in a property, if there is business also and there is house also, how you are going to do that, right? Any doubts are there in yesterday's class? Then chat box is active. 1 second. You know, one thing, yesterday such nice messages were there, those who have cleared in 22 and all with the chat box. But unfortunately, once I close that live chat is going. I don't know how to go by that. So if someone can, yeah. After the class is over, if you can comment below the video, that will stay over there and motivate many other students also. Right? Okay. Let me share the screen and let us start with income from house property. Weightage of this topic is 6 marks. Whenever they say, just 1 second, dear students, please wait. Thank you. Thank you for all the live comment. Make sure once this is done, comment below the video also so that it stays over there. Yes. Income from house property, we are starting now. Income from house property says whenever there is property and you are getting rental income, it is taxable under house property. Chargeability, section 22, right? Self-occupied property, there are 3 kinds of property income which are taxable here. Self-occupied property is the property where you are staying for your own residence or it is vacant. Okay, right. Let out property is the property which you have given on rent. Deemed let out property. Okay, deemed let out property is the property which is not actually let out, but only 2 properties are allowed as self-occupied. So suppose you have 3 or 4 properties, 5 properties, any 2 of it, you can take it as self-occupied. Yesterday, we have done combination problems. And any 2 of the properties, you can take it as what? Self-occupied. And the 3rd and 4th property, which though you are treating it as self-occupied, will be treated as deemed let out property, and on notional income you have to pay tax. Okay, right. Now, what is the format of income from house property problem? Like we all know, every head has its format. If it is salary, start with basic DA all. If it is business head, start with net profit and do add and less. Capital gain hai to sale consideration se. So how do you start a problem in exam? For the house property, you need to compute GAV, gross annual value, which is a 3-step method. Step 1, fair rent or municipal value of the property, whichever is higher. It will be given to you in the exam. That or standard rent, whichever is lower. That or actual rent, whichever is higher. So high, low, high. Clear? This will derive GAV. Once you get GAV, deduct municipal taxes if they are paid by owner. Your GAV could be fair rent, municipal value, standard rent, कुछ भी हो सकता है. But if municipal taxes paid by owner are given as percentage, take it on the municipal value. Now you get NAV, net annual value. Net annual values, 30% is allowed as standard deduction for all your expenses. Other than these, no expenses are allowed, right? And then interest on loan is allowed on due basis. Please remember one thing. Municipal taxes are allowed if paid by owner, means if actually paid. For 22-23, if municipal taxes are paid on 10th April 23, they will not be allowed now. They will be allowed next year, right? Interest on loan is allowed on due basis. You have taken housing loan from the bank, then interest is allowed. Now, interest, how it is allowed, this is like super duper. If you say house property mein ma'am, pumping heart kya hai? Interest. How much interest is allowed is very, very important. So interest on loan is allowed on due basis for let out property and deemed let out property. Actual interest which is due, even if not paid, but if it is due, it is allowed without any upper limit. What is let out property? जिसको आपने rent पे दिया है. But if you have taken a loan, interest is allowed to be deducted. Deemed let out properties other than 2 self-occupied, the third, fourth will be treated as what? Deemed let out property. So let out property, deemed let out property, how much interest on loan is allowed? Ye raha, I'm here. Huh? No upper limit, full. Now coming to self-occupied property. Look at the format, dear students. Self-occupied property is property where you are staying. GAV is nil. खुद को क्या rent दोगे? Municipal taxes are not allowed to be deducted in the self-occupied part. NAV is nil. So 30% of NAV is nil. Still interest on loan is allowed. So can I say self-occupied property is always going to show a loss? Self-occupied property is always going to show a loss because there is no income and this. Okay. Now, interest on loan is allowed on due basis, that we know, but self-occupied property, there's a limit how much interest on loan is allowed. If you have taken loan today for repairs, how much interest is allowed? 30,000. If you have taken loan today for purchase of property or construction, loan is taken after 1499 and construction is completed in 5 years. If these conditions are satisfied, interest on loan is allowed up to rupees 2 lakh for 2 self-occupied property. एक property के लिए 2 लाख का limit नहीं है. Self-occupied properties, how many you can take? 2. Beyond that, DLOP, deemed let out property. So for 2 self-occupied property, how much interest on loan is allowed? Up to 2 lakh. So if your interest on loan is 2 lakh 10,000, say, how much interest is allowed? 2 lakh. Okay. Some of the students are joining late, thinking we have already done house property. Ma'am is doing revision. See, I want to do it at faster pace, no, than you. I have other targets. You all want colored books. So next is, it will take a lot of time to do all that. Marking तो मुझे ही करके देना है ना, technician colored करेगा तो भी. So when as a teacher, I'm sparing time for revision, I'm connecting yesterday's class with today. And these are the scientific method over years they have built, brought awesome results. So trust me, join the class on time, and these pearls of wisdom from students, you can feel them, they can feel you better than me, because they were like you little earlier, and you are exactly, going on their footsteps, right or not? So each and every time, minute, what you are spending with me is very valuable for you and me. Can I request all of you to please join on time? Right? Chalo. So how much interest on loan is allowed for deemed let out and let out? No upper limit. For self-occupied, up to 2 lakh. But if the loan is taken before 1499, or today also, if the loan is taken for repairs, how much interest is allowed? 30,000. Then I gave you with example. Sometimes, some concepts here in capital gain are very clear with the help of examples. So interest on second loan taken to repay the first loan is allowed. Yes. Interest on second loan taken to repay the first loan is allowed, because then second loan will take the place of housing loan. First loan to आपने repay कर दिया और उसका interest allowed है, but interest on interest is not allowed. To pay housing loan interest 2 lakh, I have taken one more loan. Now the second loan interest is to pay interest. This is not allowed. Brokerage and all is not allowed. For two self-occupied property, interest limit is 2 lakh. If there are two co-owners of the property, yesterday we have solved the problem, compute the income and then divide it. So those two co-owners, each one will get 2 lakh ka limit. Okay, right. Now, in GAV, you all have seen fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. Is the screen clear? That or standard rent, whichever is lower. That or actual rent, whichever is higher. Now, in the GAV, step 2 or actual rent, whichever is higher. So sometimes actual rent is low and step 2 is high because there is vacancy. And you have taken actual rent only for 8 months because 4 months to vacant tha property. In that case, in the step 3, if actual rent is low only due to vacancy, still take actual rent as GAV even though it is low. Otherwise, what is the third step? High, fair rent, municipal value, whichever is higher. That or standard rent, whichever is lower. This or actual rent, whichever is higher. So high, low, high. But in the third step, if other step 2 is high and actual rent is low, so ma'am, whichever is higher. But if actual rent is low only due to vacancy, then take actual rent as GAV even though it is low. Then we have solved combination problems. And then I taught you the concept of unrealized rent. Earlier it was not realized, तब तो हमने deduct कर लिया GAV में से. After 2-3 years, whenever you realize the unrealized rent or arrears of rent, it is taxable in income from house property, irrespective of I am the owner of the property or not. And 30% standard deduction is allowed. And most important, dear students, unrealized rent and arrears of rent, whenever it is received, tax it separately. Don't merge it with the other GAVs. Okay, right. So this co-owner problem we have done. Now I'm going to take up two combination problems. The first I'm starting is concept of partition. Listen now. This is a house property. Ground floor, they have given it on rent to a showroom. First floor, this is like 50% or square feet. First floor, 25% is self-occupied. पीछे घर है. And 25% we are using for our own business. I'm a chartered accountant, so I'm using it for my own office. Half first floor. Half first floor is self-occupied and this is let out. Such kind of problem is asked. And if they give you the fair rent and municipal value of whole property, पूरे घर का fair rent and municipal value and standard rent they have given, then you have to solve these kind of problems with two columns. I'm going to work out the problem and show you, but just the concept I'm giving. Particulars and two column. 25% of the property is self-occupied and 50% is let out. Remaining 25%, what you are using for your own business, you can't pay rent to yourself. So that 25% of all expense will be deductible under business head. I'm coming to this part, keep this pending. First of all, in exam, if the student is solving these kind of partition problems and he's making triple column, ma'am, 3 part hai na property ke, let out, self-occupied and used for own business, gone. It's not a mistake, it's a blunder. That means you have not understood house property. Somewhere I may be little harsh, sorry, but you need to take care of the pitfalls. That's what very important in Sarathi batch. This is not a regular spoon feeding coaching. You are not foundation fresh students now. You will already know income tax. So if you make triple column, gone. How many columns you will make? Double column. 25% self-occupied, 50% let out. Now, for let out ka GAV, can you do 50% of the fair rent, municipal value, standard rent, जो पूरे property का है, उसका 50%. Can you just do the let out? I mean, say for let out for GAV, if they give you full properties, fair rent and municipal value, can you take 50% of fair rent, 50% of municipal value and do the problem for let out? For self occupied पूरा ले लो. अच्छा, म्यूनिसिपल टैक्स पूरे घर का 10,000 है, तो यहाँ पे आप कितना डिडक्ट करोगे? सेल्फ ऑक्यूपाइड में सॉरी यू डोंट गेट म्यूनिसिपल टैक्सेस डिडक्शन. हियर हाउ मच यू विल डिडक्ट? 5,000. Same way, if interest on loan is for the whole property, 25% you deduct here, 50% you deduct here, and remaining 25%. Below this, suppose if they give you that business income is 90,000 before the expenditure. Now, from business income, 25% of municipal taxes, 25% of loan, 25% of water charges. House property, we don't take liftman, water charges, insurance, wo sab, because we take 30% standard deduction. But business head may 25% of the property is used for business. So 25% of the total house property expense, can you claim to get your business income? This is how you need to solve. Can you put me a message all clear? एक problem करते हैं partition के साथ, and then I will go to pre-construction interest concept. Is this clear? Same kind of the partition problem they can give you in dollars, so that you are getting the rent from USA, $18. Each dollar, $1 is equal to 80 rupees, and you're paying municipal taxes also in dollars. No problem. Same problem if asked to you in your study material that you are getting rental income from foreign country and one property in Delhi and Mumbai, utne columns banao और routine में solve करो. Okay? Let us take one problem from our Sarathi material for partition के साथ. 1 minute. This is live streaming, no? Yes. Here we are. So let us take up the partition problems now. Some more theory and concepts are also there. वो भी करेंगे. House property. I hope my speed is fine. Co-ownership हमने कर लिया. ये देखो. Portion of the house property. If it is self-occupied, another is let out, then you have to solve it. And part of it, if it is used for business, very easy. All these problems are, कोई भी एक करते हैं तो आपको partition समझ में आ जाएगा. Let us do 11th problem. 11th problem is not there, dear students, in, yeah. 11th problem is not there in the sheet PDF which I have sent you. And I've already sent you the PDF for business head and capital gain also. So make sure you take a printout, but this problem, read with me. Take a screenshot, please. I thought of not doing this and doing other problems, but अब मुझे लग रहा है ये करने की भी जरूरत है. तो हम करेंगे partition के लिए, right? Yeah. I don't know what is happening, that live chat is lost once the video is over. So if you are really finding it good and you want to comment, can you comment on the video which is completed after 1:30? So I think that comment will stay. Let us continue. Ria owns a big house. House has 3 independent units. 50% is let out on a monthly rent of 8,200 and this unit is vacant. अच्छे से solve करना. Trust me, just as Pallavi said, these are like hand-picked problems with so much of experience, years of teaching experience, and you will really smile, like Pallavi said, if you see the same question in final exam. So unit 1 remains vacant for 1 month. So you have to take rent, dear students, for how many months? 11 months. And a sum of 700 could not be collected. So 700 is what? Unrealized rent. So unrealized rent, can I deduct now? Yes. After 2-3 years, if I receive, is it taxable under house property? Yes. Unit 2, 25% is occupied by RIA for profession, and unit 3, 25% is used for residence. As I said, this is a combination problem. Municipal value, fair rent, standard rent of the whole property is given to you. Okay, take a screenshot, please, and I will take the picture and send it in the Telegram group also, so that you have the problem. Okay, now municipal taxes are 15,000 for whole property. So 25% and 50% ऐसे लेना है आपको. Repairs is not allowed under house property standard. देखो house property में, dear students, crystal clear knowledge. Only 3 deductions are allowed. With lot of stress, I am saying. Municipal taxes if paid by owner. Standard deduction 30% of NAV. Third is interest on loan. इसको छोड़ के whatever they gave, nothing is allowed. So repairs is not allowed. Interest on capital borrowed is 36,000. Ground rent. Annual charge created under a will by father in the favor of Mrs. Ria. Yes. So father has given by way of will property to Ria, and they have asked to Ria कि इसमें से कुछ आप annual charge जो है 9,000, that you have to give it to someone. Annual charge is not allowed to be deducted. Fire insurance premium 15,000. But all these expense on actual basis, 25% will be deducted under business head. ठीक है? Income of Ria from profession is 95,000 without debiting house related expense. Ria is doing profession and 25% of building, but before debiting those expense, 95,000. Other incidental expenditure, including admissible depreciation on this portion, is 8,000. Determine the taxable income. Shall we start it very fast? This is a partition problem. If you can do this, like all the problems, कोई भी academy का कोई भी exam है, CMA, CA, CS, नहीं आ रहा, Telegram group में डालो, put me a voice note, I'll clear it for you. Yes, right. This is in our Sarathi material, problem number 11. And let us do computation of income of Ria. Shall we start? Are you all with me? Problem I'll surely send you. If I miss out, again, you can message in the challengers group if you are there, or in the Telegram group. Okay. Let me call it house 1 as self-occupied, and that's 25%. House 2 part, or unit 2, you can call it part of unit, and that is let out property, and that is 50%. Remaining 25% I'm using for my own profession, and if I see that column, no, 0 out of 6 months. I'm telling you, please sometimes go into the step of the paper correctors and feel that 50 papers, कोई कहाँ से शुरू कर रहा है, कोई कैसे शुरू कर रहा है. So, you have to make their work comfortable. Sure. Let us start writing the format as fast as we all know. Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. Step 2 is step 1, or standard rent, whichever is lower. Step 3 is step 2 or actual rent, whichever is higher. And I'm leaving one line because from actual rent you have to deduct vacancy also, and you have to deduct the unrealized rent also. Okay? So now after this you will get the GAV. Once you get GAV, municipal taxes, if it is paid by owner, so it is allowed to be deducted. Then what you get, you call it as NAV. From that, 30% standard deduction of the NAV is allowed. Interest on loan is allowed. I am repeating maybe once again, interest on loan is allowed on due basis without any limit in let out and deemed let out. Self-occupied property, yes, it is allowed up to 2 lakhs and you get income from house property. Isn't it very quick and nice? Now we all know self-occupied property में तो ये juggling ही नहीं है. Your GAV is nil. Municipal tax not allowed. NAV nil. Now what is your interest on loan? I'm giving you the figure. Interest on loan is 36,000 for the whole property. So 25% is self-occupied. So can you show 9,000 as loss? Interest on loan for whole property is 36,000. Self-occupied में 25% deduct होगा. Self-occupied property will always show a loss. Now, come here, 50%. So fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. So fair rent is higher. So fair rent है 70,000, लेकिन हम उसका 50% लेंगे 35,000. That or standard rent, whichever is lower. So again, fair rent ही low है 35,000. Are you all with me? The standard rent is 90,000. तो उसका half 45,000 or 35, whichever is lower. That or actual rent. Now for actual rent, I'm writing here. Actual rent per month is how much? 8,200. I'm taking only for 11 months, dear students. Why 11 months? Because 1 month it is vacant. It is coming to 90,200. And in that 700 rupees is unrealized rent. Rent which is not realized. Assuming those 4 conditions are satisfied, tenancy is bona fide, tenant is not occupying any other premises, this and all, and we have sent him legal notice. वो सब कर कुरा के the actual rent is coming to 89,500. So we will take GAV as 89,500. Are you all with me? Do message me. ये bonus problem है, हम ये करने नहीं वाले थे, सीधे past exam के कर रहे हैं. But is it worth it or not for the partition problem? 89,500 is your high, low, high. So actual rent is high. Let us take it. Now municipal taxes. Municipal taxes are 15,000. So how much you will deduct here? ये GAV मैंने ऊपर लिख दिया. ठीक है, हम यहाँ लिखेंगे. Municipal taxes अभी आपको बताया ना 15,000 for the whole property. So how much is let out? 50%. 7,500 you can deduct. 89,500 minus 7,500. That is 82,000 into 30%. 24,600. And interest on loan, how much will be allowed? 18,000. 36,000 ka 50%. 18,000 minus 39,400. 39,400 is the income from let out part, and self-occupied part there is a loss. So total income from house property is 30,400. 30,400. Right? Chalo. Now let us take up the 25% which Ria is using for business purpose. So after this, I'm writing business income for Ria. It is printed that business income without debiting house related expenses is 95,000. 95,000. Okay. है ना? तो 95,000 है. Minus now this house related depreciation. You all know in business head actual expenditure are allowed. House property mein notional tha, so we took 30% standard deduction. But here depreciation of the building. And don't take 8,000. It's 8,000 वो 25% से related ही है, which is used for business. And now all the other expense, one hand I'm putting and one by one I'm writing. Yes? Yeah. Chalo. Are you all with me? Municipal taxes. कितना है municipal taxes? 15,000 का 25% or 1/4. 3750. Repairs. Repairs 4,000 का 25%. 1,000. फिर क्या है आपका? Repairs के बाद interest on loan. Interest on loan you have taken 36,000 और उसका 25% you are using for business. So you can deduct 9,000 here. Ground rent. $6,400 का 25%. Annual charge is not allowed to be deducted anywhere. Fire insurance. Fire insurance is how much? 15,000 and 25%. Anyone is having any doubt? Please ask if you have doubt. किसी को network issue कोई problem तो नहीं हो रहा because I am sitting right in front of the Wi-Fi only. Yes. So we have taken all the expenses related to business on actual basis. Let us now compute how much is the business income. $67,900 is the business income. And how much was your house property income? Net करने के बाद 30,400. So now what is the gross total income? That's what they have asked you to compute. Gross total income. 67,900 plus 30,400. That is gross total or total income. कोई deductions तो है नहीं. That's all for 6 marks problem. Easy. Check and tell me all clear. AC, you can put message. It's a nice problem. Partition भी हो गया. कहाँ कितना expenditure allowed है. Self-occupied में what is allowed? Only loan. That to 25%. Let out में all routine. And business में see repairs, ground rent. ये सब यहाँ allow नहीं किया because we have got 30% standard deduction. And I want all of you to write a note annual charge paid is not allowed to be deducted, hence not considered above. When I'm dictating, write it, dear students. Let the paper corrector know कि ये followed annual charge को नहीं लेना है कि समझ में नहीं है इसलिए छोड़ दिए. Are you getting? Did you leave it because you didn't understand, or you left it because you know that you are not supposed to deduct it? So there's a difference, huh? Annual charge. Annual charge is not allowed to be deducted, neither in business income nor in house property, right? Hence, it is not considered above. So that's the concept of partition. And it's the same problem if they give you that income is received from foreign country. Will you be able to do it? Huh? They'll give you income in dollars and all. Chalo. Now I'm going to pre-construction interest concept. And we'll work out the problems also. Pre-construction interest concept. Okay. Write down some running notes, dear students. PCI, I call it as pre-construction interest, starts. Now, what is it? How? I will explain in the coming 5-7 minutes with example. Routine class, one whole class, around 10 examples on my own I make. कि अगर ऐसा है तो ऐसा है, twist कर करके जितना gist होगा सब बताएंगे आपको अभी. Pre-construction interest starts from date of loan or date of construction, whichever is later, and pre-construction interest name, pre-construction period. Write it. There's reason I'm dictating, so write it. Pre-construction period starts from the date of loan or the date of construction, whichever is later. Pre-construction period ends on 31st March prior to completion of construction. Pre-construction period ends on 31st March prior to the completion of construction or repayment of loan, whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. बहुत अच्छे अच्छे एग्जाम्पल्स हम करेंगे अभी. Yes. So what did I say to all of you right now? Pre-construction period. Now, what is this concept of pre-construction period? Say, let us take, leave 1 or 2 lines, write down one example. Start of construction. 1st April 2020. Start of construction. Date of loan. When did you take the loan? Say loan was taken on 30 June 2020. Okay. Construction completed. Construction is over on 30th of September 2020. Abhi, September 2022. Loan not repaid. You all know housing loans are taken for very long period. Even if the building is complete and you have given it on loan, rent, इंटरेस्ट ऑन लोन चलते रहता है. यहाँ से रेंटल इनकम आता है, ईएमआई पे करते हैं, रेंट आता है. अब क्या पढ़ रहे हैं? We are studying house property now, and I am explaining the concept of pre-construction interest. All right. So we have started the construction. थोड़ा सा patiently सीखना है आप सबको. Started the construction on 1st April 2020. Date of the loan is 30 June. You have taken the loan. Construction is completed on 39/22. Loan is not yet repaid. This is all the details. Now listen to me carefully. Okay. Once the construction is completed, you start getting the rental income and you are paying interest on loan. Rental income aa raha hai, interest on loan pay kar rahe. Are you all with me? So rental income is coming, you are paying interest on loan, that's fine. But loan you have taken in that time when the construction was going on, tabhi bhi interest meter was going on, but income to kuch nahi tha at that time. Clear to all of you? So that interest is called as pre-construction interest, and that is allowed subject to some rules. Okay, right. See, I'll explain you this example also. We will be solving. थोड़ा space रख दो example के लिए. और यहाँ मैं right में लिख रही हूँ. ये देखो. Suppose construction is going on from 20 to 22. Now 22 के बाद 23. 1 second. 1 second. One minute, dear students. I need to open the file again. Yes. Few people, they don't want to learn, but they are disturbing the class. So this happens in the live class when it is in YouTube. I don't know what do they get by creating all these nuisance. It is really very disappointing. We are here to teach in free so that you all do awesome. And these people are having that much time to disturb. Rubbish. Chalo, ignoring them, let us continue. So what I was saying is 20 to 22, the construction is going on. Loan you have taken, uska interest bhi aap pay kar rahe, but you are not allowed to deduct this anywhere, dear students, because that time there is no income. 23, 24, you are getting rental income and current year's interest you are deducting. But what about this period's interest? Loan to you have taken in 2020, right? Okay. So when you have taken the loan in 2020 and you are paying the interest, this interest, pre-construction interest, during the period construction is going on, this interest is also allowed to be deducted in the year when construction is over for continuous 5 years. How? That I will show you the steps. Just 2 minutes, I'll be back. I want all of you to write this example till then. Break I'll give little later. Yes. Okay, finish writing this example. So is the first of all forget about the steps and all. वो clear हो जाएंगे. पहले आपको concept समझ में आया है नहीं. 20 I took the loan. 22 construction was over. 22 I have paid interest on loan, but I am not able to deduct anywhere because the rental income तो थी नहीं. 22 के बाद I started getting the rental income. So current year's interest I was deducting. So this interest is called as pre-construction interest. And once you calculate pre-construction interest, it is allowed to be deducted 1/5 every year for 5 years. Okay. Now how to calculate that? So for that, the point is, for pre-construction interest, first you calculate what is pre-construction interest period. That period starts from date of loan or date of construction, whichever is later. Construction April mein shuru hua, but if you have taken the loan in July, interest will start from July, right? So pre-construction period starts from the date you have taken the loan or the date of the construction, whichever is later. And pre-construction period ends on 31st. Not, you can say, ma'am, pre-construction period will end on the day construction is over. But whenever the construction is over, before that 31st, pre-construction period is over. Because once the construction is over, you start getting rental income, you pay the interest. Rental income आ रहा है, तो routine में ही interest allowed है ना आपको, right? Repayment of loan, whichever is earlier. Sometimes before the construction is over, I may repay the loan. तो फिर मीटर ही खत्म हो गया interest का. Followed once again. Pre-construction period starts from the date of the loan or the date of construction, whichever is later. Pre-construction period ends on 31st March prior to the completion of the construction. Abhi ye dekho. When did the construction start? 1st April 2020. Date of loan 30 June 2020 I have taken. Construction kab complete hua? 30th of September 22. Okay. Now first step. I'm going stepwise. My step 1 is calculate the pre-construction period. Pre-construction period calculate करो. कहां से कहां तक है? Pre-construction period starts on the day construction or loan, तो loan 30 June 2020. Pre-construction period ends 31st March 2022. Ma'am, but construction is completed on 30th of September. So 31st March prior to that. All right. All clear to all of you? Pre-construction period starts on 30th of June and it ends on 31st of March prior to the date of the completion of construction. So construction khatam ho raha hai 30th September, uske pehle ka 31st of March. Okay. So now what is the pre-construction period? Can you calculate? 30 June 20 से शुरू हुआ है, तो 20 to 21 आपके 9 months. 1st July से months you can calculate. 21 to 22 पूरे 12 months. 22, I hope you are getting. 30 June 20 से 31st March 21, 9 months. March 21 से 12 months. So 12 and 9, how many months it is becoming? 21 months. So step 1 is crucial. Calculate pre-construction. I'm going very slow like a routine class, but ये concept ही वैसा है. Step 2 is calculate pre-construction interest. Calculate the pre-construction interest. Huh? Just let us take the loan taken is 10 lakhs at the rate of 10%, just an amount. So interest for pre-construction period will be 10 lakhs, 10% into 21/12. When you do divide by 12, 1 month's interest multiplied by 21 months. 10 lakh ka 10% into 21 divided by 12. So this is coming to 1,75,000. 1,75,000. ठीक है? Now, this is the interest which I have paid when construction was going on and I could not deduct it anywhere. So once the construction is over, when the construction is over, दो September 22, but उसके पहले March तक का interest हो गया. So in 22 and 23, can I deduct 1,75,000 interest in the 5 continuous years, 1/5 every year, and I call this as annual interest. Annual interest. Annual interest. 1/5 every year for 5 years. 5 साल तक deduct होगा ये. हाँ, तो continuous 5 years old interest you can deduct. Okay. Now my step 4. What is the total interest? Total interest is pre-construction interest 35,000. And अभी तक loan is not repaid. 22, 23, 23 अभी तक loan तो repay नहीं हुआ है. तो current year का interest भी तो आएगा ना? 10 lakh पे 10% इस साल का running year का, and that is 1 lakh. So total interest is 1,35,000. Anyone sitting and watching the video and thinking I will understand, you will not understand unless you have taken down the problem. I'm again scrolling up and then take down the answer. 2 minutes I'm here, and इसके बाद इसके problems अभी apply करके भी करेंगे. Yes. लिख लो, pause the video, write it if you're watching it as recording, comment below, share it with your friends. It's very interesting, pre-construction interest. ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम करने से अच्छा यही प्रॉब्लम 2-3 बार प्रैक्टिस करो. You write down, I'm here, and once you finish, tell me. I will re-explain. It's okay if we are taking little extra time for pre-construction interest. कल हमने आधे क्लास के बाद तो शुरू किया है. I'm waiting. अभी ब्रेक नहीं है, ब्रेक हाउस प्रॉपर्टी होने के बाद करेंगे. चलिए साथ में आगे. या सी once again पूरा beginning से सुनो. नहीं 50% समझाए, फिर से सुनो. देखो, प्री कंस्ट्रक्शन इंटरेस्ट का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? I have taken loan and I am making a building. While the building is getting ready, the interest meter is going on. But this interest I am not able to deduct anywhere because कोई income ही नहीं है. Once the construction is over, I am getting rental income and I am deducting interest. I am getting rental income. So housing loan may be taken for 10 years, 15 years. But what about pre-construction interest? During the construction period, what interest I am incurring? Uska kya? It is allowed to be deducted in 3 steps. First step is get your pre-construction period correct. Second step is वो period के लिए 21 months के लिए interest calculate करो. Third step is उसको 1/5 करो. 1/5 is allowed every year along with current year's interest. Current year's interest will come if after the building is constructed अभी तक आपने loan repay नहीं किया तो current year का interest भी deduct होगा और पुराना वाला 1/5 every year also you will deduct. Clear? Shall we continue? One second. See, pre-construction period starts from the day you have taken the loan or construction, whichever is later. So 30 June. Pre-construction period completes 31st March prior to the completion of construction. So construction कब complete हुआ? 30 September. उसके पहले का 30th September के पहले का 31st of March. Okay, right. So pre-construction period is 21 months. Your step 1 is over. Tick. Step 2 is pre-construction interest you calculate. And for 21 months, interest is coming 175. Step 3 is pre-construction interest divided by 5 to be allowed continuously for 5 years. And step 4 is how much total interest is allowed. Current years is whatever, क्योंकि current year 20 to 23 में भी तो loan तो repay नहीं हुआ है तो 1 lakh rupees 10 lakh पे 10% तो लगेगा and the pre-construction interest. So total interest is allowed. With this, now we are ready to go for partition. All the concepts of house property I've covered, except some small 5 minutes theory, which I'll be doing at end. Right now, we are ready to go for the past exam papers. You all have this printout. तो इसमें हाउस प्रॉपर्टी से रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करते हैं. टिल हियर वी हैव डन. 9th वाला भी नहीं करना, वो ही प्री कंस्ट्रक्शन बहुत हो गया. मैंने खुद से एग्जांपल दे दिया आपको. राइट नाउ वी आर डूइंग May 23 RTP का दिस क्वेश्चन. ओके, या प्लीज टेक अ प्रिंट आउट ऑफ दिस. One minute. Question we have to read. Yeah, this is already sent to you. आपको already भेज दिया है Telegram group. Yes. May 23 question. Mr. Akash owns a residential house property whose municipal value, fair rent and standard rent is 160, 170 and 190. House has 2 independent units. Okay, तो पूरे घर का दिया है आपको. Unit 1 25% is utilized for the purpose of his own profession. Unit 2 is let out at 8,500 rent. Okay, municipal taxes are 8% of municipal value to be paid by owner Akash, so allowed to be deducted. He made following further payments: light and water charges, repairs, interest on loan. That is also taken for repairs. Akash has taken loan 5 lakh in July 2016, pre-construction interest for construction, and construction was completed in June 19. So June 19 के पहले 31st March 19. Pre-construction period will start from July 2016 and end on 31st March prior to the completion of the construction. Okay, right. अच्छा प्रॉब्लम है, बहुत अच्छा प्रॉब्लम है. Now pre-construction के लिए we will make ना अलग से एक नोट बना देंगे. He paid interest on loan at 12% per annum and every month such interest was paid. No repayment. अभी तक लोन का repayment नहीं है, तो करंट ईयर का इंटरेस्ट भी आएगा आपको और प्री कंस्ट्रक्शन इंटरेस्ट भी आएगा, क्योंकि अभी तक कोई भी लोन रीपे नहीं हुआ है आपका. ठीक है. नाउ इनकम ऑफ आकाश फ्रॉम प्रोफेशन इज 8 लाख विदाउट डेबिटिंग घर से रिलेटेड एक्सपेंस. रिया वाला प्रॉब्लम जो हमने अभी की. अदर इंसिडेंटल एक्सपेंसेस including depreciation is 8,000. Okay. Determine the gross total income ignoring provisions of 115 BAC, that is the new tax regime. They are not going for that because in new tax regime to self-occupied property, no expenses are allowed, not even interest on loan. So is the problem clear to all of you? 25%, फिर से एक बार देख लो, ratio एक बार देख लो. 25% is utilized for profession, 75% is let out. This time there is no self-occupied. So in the RTPs and all, one problem really I'm saying, they are not following and doing it in the same way. मतलब कभी कभी क्या करते हैं कि पूरा एक साथ like they do it in the column form. Sometimes they'll be doing it direct, एक के नीचे एक. But in exam definitely you can do it in the column form. बिल्कुल आप कॉलम फॉर्म में कर सकते हैं. So problem number 9 in our material, we are doing computation of income. Now and then I'm correcting my posture because a lot of reminder is given to me that these online classes of 2.5, 3 hours are taking a toll on your spinal cord. So make sure you sit. So that's why you must be seeing I'm sitting alert and now like making my posture correct. Computation of income for Mr. Akash. ठीक है, चलो शुरू करते हैं. Particulars and part of the property which is used for profession, उसका तो कोई कॉलम नहीं बनाएंगे और 75% लेट आउट है तो एक ही कॉलम बस है हमको, एक ही कॉलम बस है ना. सेल्फ ऑक्यूपाइड तो है ही नहीं. समझ में आ रहा है आप सबको? 75% let out property. 25% is not self-occupied. 25 is used for profession. जो business head income we will compute separately. चलो, let us start. So 75% which is let out, उसके लिए we will compute the GAV. They do it in the form of expected rent and all. We can do it by our way. Definitely you'll get marks. Step 1 is fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. So fair rent is 170 and municipal value is 160, whichever is higher. So 170, but 170 ka 75%. Are you getting? Here they have given you this for the whole property कि पूरी प्रॉपर्टी का फेयर रेंट हाई है म्युनिसिपल वैल्यू से, पर आपको सिर्फ 75% लेना है, दैट इज 127,500. नाउ स्टेप 2, स्टेप 1 127,500 और स्टैंडर्ड रेंट whichever is lower. So how much is the standard rent, dear students? Standard rent is 1,90,000. So 190 से तो 170 कम है ना, standard rent तो और 190 है, तो whichever is lower. So we will take same 120. Are you getting? Step 1 170 or 190, whichever is lower. So 170 or 170 का 75%. Why 75%? Because this is the fair rent of whole property and only 75% is given. Yes. Do keep commenting. You are attending live with me, so would be glad to know all clear or not. Chalo. Step 3. And even if you're watching it as recording, do comment below. That motivates us also to give more and more best. Not nothing because I'm teaching free. It's like kuch bhi pada do, kuch bhi karke khatam kar do. No, please. It's a matter of your career. So nothing wrong. Chalo. Step 3 is step 2. Or actual rent whichever is higher. और actual rent कितना है आपको दिया है? How much is actual rent? 8,500 and there is no vacancy, no? कुछ भी नहीं है vacancy. Actual rent is 8,500 into 12. कितना आ रहा है? 1,02,000. So step 2, 127 or actual rent, whichever is higher. So what is higher? 127. See, ma'am, I have received actual rent only 1,02,000, but notional value pe we are paying the tax. Okay. Now, what is our GAV? 127,500, whichever is higher. Less municipal taxes. Municipal taxes are allowed because they are paid by owner and they are 8% of the municipal value. Municipal value है आपका 1,60,000, उसका 8% और उसका 75%, because 75% is let out, only 75% municipal expenses are allowed into 8% into 75%. So that's coming to 9,000. Nice problem for 6 marks. Now net annual value is coming to 1,17,900 minus standard deduction 30% of NAV, that is 35,370, and interest on loan. There are many other expenses you can see. इंटरेस्ट ऑन लोन के लिए हम वर्किंग नोट 1 बनाएंगे क्योंकि करंट ईयर्स इंटरेस्ट भी है और प्री कंस्ट्रक्शन इंटरेस्ट भी है. सो आफ्टर दिस यू विल गेट इनकम फ्रॉम हाउस प्रॉपर्टी. इज द फॉर्मेट क्लियर टू यू? Why one column is clear? Because 75% is let out and 25% is not self-occupied. So don't make one more column. 25% is used for business. इसके नीचे I am making working note 1. Working note 1. That is interest. First, let us calculate the pre-construction interest. Pre-construction interest के लिए first step क्या है, dear students? What is the first step for pre-construction interest? Pre-construction period. Calculate pre-construction period. Pre-construction period starts from the day you have taken the loan. Pre-construction period starts from the day you have taken the loan, that is July 2016, ends on 31st March 2019. Construction is over in June 19, but prior to that, March 19. Now, this is your pre-construction period. How much is it coming? July 16 to March 17, that is 9 months. Fir 17 to 18 or 18 to 19. So total 24 and 9, 33 months. Is it correct? समझ में आया आप सबको pre-construction interest का concept? 33 months. So pre-construction period starts from the day you have taken the loan, ends on 31st March prior to completion. Construction is over in June 19. तो April 19 से तो routine फिर आपका बाद में construction June में हुआ, but 19-20 you start getting the income, no? And current year's interest is deductible. This pre-construction interest is deductible 1/5 every year. Step 1 is calculate pre-construction period. Step 2 is calculate pre-construction interest. How much loan you have taken for pre-construction? 5 lakh at the rate of 12% into 33 divided by 12. 5 lakh into 12% into 33 divided by 12. 1,65,000 is the total pre-construction interest. Step 3 is annual pre-construction interest. Annual pre-construction interest. So annual pre-construction interest is 1,65,000 divided by 5. Continuous for 5 years, it is allowed. 33,000. Now, ये हो गया प्री कंस्ट्रक्शन. अब मैं वर्किंग नोट 2 बना रही हूँ. प्रीवियस ईयर 22-23 के लिए टोटल इंटरेस्ट कितना होगा? प्री कंस्ट्रक्शन हो गया. नाउ टोटल इंटरेस्ट. करंट ईयर्स इंटरेस्ट लगेगा. यस, 5 लाख रुपीस अभी तक रीपे नहीं हुआ है. सो करंट ईयर्स इंटरेस्ट विल कम 60,000. Pre-construction interest will come 33,000. Current year's interest will come. Why, dear students, we are taking current year's interest? क्योंकि अभी तक लोन रीपे नहीं हुआ है और प्री कंस्ट्रक्शन इंटरेस्ट 5 years तक अलाउड है. 1/5, 1/5, 1/5 every year. And other than this, one more interest is paid on repairs. Read the problem. Yeah, second para. Interest on loan is taken for repairs also. So for repairs, now don't say, ma'am, you said 30,000 upper limit. That is for self-occupied. अभी तो ये let out property की बात हो रही. Interest on loan taken for repairs, 36,000. Total interest. $1,29,000 and 75% is let out. Let out portion का interest रहेगा 1,29,000 का 75%. 96,750. Over. Is this clear to all of you? Pre-construction period starts from the day you have taken loan, ends 31st March, so 33 months. Second step is calculate pre-construction interest. Third step is divide by 5 and allow it for 5 years. कहाँ से कहाँ तक? I want all of you to write here. 5 years कहाँ से शुरू होंगे? 2019 तक तो खत्म हो गया. So 19, 20, 20, 21. I want you to write 5 years. 21, 22, 22, 23. 23, 24. ऐसा नहीं कि चलते ही रहेगा. If the pre-construction period is completed in 15, 5 years are over. Only current year's interest might come. Done. And whatever it is, current year's interest, pre-construction interest, and interest on loan put together. Why I'm taking 75%? Because only 75% is let out here. 96,750. Check and tell me, is the problem clear to you? 75% of fair rent, municipal value. सब समझ में आया आप सबको? Yes. Now can we get the income from house property? Standard deduction and 96,750. There's a loss. 14 to 20. 75% of income from house property, there is a loss. Now let us compute income from profession. Akash is doing his profession, no? और वहां से भी income दिया है. Income from profession. जिसके लिए he is using 25% of building. So income from profession is 8 lakhs without debiting related buildings depreciation. See, house property में कोई depreciation नहीं है, but अगर building business के लिए use हो रही है तो उसका depreciation तो allowed रहेगा ना. How much? 8,000. And now all the other expense related to building on excuse me, actual basis 25% will be allowed for Akash. So let us take all the expense one by one. First is light expenses. These are 2,000 or uska 25%, that is 500. Then we have repairs. Repairs. 1,45,000, uska 25%. It takes lot of focus to take live class like this. This is not a recording I can pause, check and do. So with lot of clarity, confidence and to the point coaching we are doing. But only promises you do it in writing. Repairs आ गया आप सबको 1,45,000 का 25%. Yes, interest हमने already ले लिया है ऊपर 75%, यहाँ 25 लेंगे 1,29,000 का 25%. $32,250. 32,250. Okay, right. That's interest. Next is how much, dear students? Yeah, just after this problem we'll take a break, very quick break. Interest का भी मैंने कितना लिया 25%. Interest on loan. और कुछ? Depreciation I have taken. Yeah, municipal taxes. Municipal taxes का भी 25%. How much are the municipal taxes? Look here. 1,60,000 का 8%. 1,60,000 का 8%, उसका 25%. 75 is deducted above. 160 is the municipal value, उसका 8% is municipal tax और उसका 25%. Done? Right. Now 8 lakhs minus 8,000 minus 500 minus 36,250. करो आप भी कैलकुलेशन करो. 32,250. Income from house property is coming to how much? Oh yeah, sorry. Interest on loan, I took it wrong. 1 second, dear students. Pre-construction interest का 25% यहाँ deduct नहीं होगा. Sorry. Here in business head, interest is allowed on actual basis. So interest for current year. Current year का interest आपका कितना है? 5 lakh का 12%. 60,000 का 25%. That is 15,000. Yeah, pre-construction interest you will not deduct in business head. And interest वो repairs वाला, repairing वाला. Repairing का interest कितना था आपका? 36,000 loan you have taken, uska 25%. Pre-construction interest is not allowed to be deducted here. 9,000. I'm repeating, interest on current year's loan is allowed to be deducted, and repairs. Pre-construction interest you can't deduct here. So now what is your income from profession? What is the income from profession? कितना आ रहा है देखो. It's a nice in-depth problem. And this is a professional coaching. I can take very easy, lucrative problems and give you wrong confidence ki yes, ma'am, we know everything in income tax. No, dear, it's not right. Income from profession is 728,050. Plus आपने ऊपर income from house property calculate करके रखा है. Income from house property 14,220 loss है. 14,220 loss, it can be set off. So now you are getting the total income. 713,830. So that's all for this problem. In case if you have missed out and you want to write, today I'm not closing the screen. So screen sharing is going on, and we will continue exactly after 5 minutes. One more problem and house property is done. All right. Chalo, let us continue. Is this problem clear to all of you? Thoda bada tha problem, but acha tha. Yes. First, we have calculated for 75% fair rent, municipal value, whichever is higher, that or standard rent, that or actual rent. So even though actual rent is 1,02,000, we have taken it as whichever is higher, 127, less municipal taxes, NAV, standard deduction, interest on loan 3, we have taken current year's interest, another interest paid for repairs, and pre-construction interest. Pre-construction interest, I did a mistake, but I hope now with my mistake you all have corrected. While taking business head, expenses are allowed on actual basis. So current year's interest is allowed and repairing wala interest is allowed. Pre-construction interest is not allowed in business head. All the other expenses, 25% are allowed other than annual charge. Okay. So that's all for this problem. I think we have done all the concept here except for one more problem I have marked, and this is based on the concept of composite rent. So this is December 21's actual question for 6 marks. Let us work it out. Now, when we are doing this question, before that, once again, we should revise composite rent concept. Composite rent is when I receive the rent of my property along with all the other amenities also. It could be with furniture, electronics, or clubhouse, or library, or swimming pool. So for other amenities, I'm getting amount along with rental income. So rental income goes to house property. Other amenities is taxable in income from other sources. In rental income, only 3 expenses are allowed: municipal tax, paid by owner, standard deduction 30% of NAV, not GAV, NAV, interest on loan. There, in income from other sources, whatever amenities we are getting, that is allowed to be taxable, subject to related expense are allowed to be deducted. ठीक है ना? So amenities से जो related expense है, they are allowed to be deducted. Right. So it's a very nice problem. Let us check it up together. Ravi is a resident and ordinary resident. He owns a let out property having different flats in Kanpur, which has a municipal value of 27 lakhs, standard rent, and the market value, matlab the fair rent and standard rent, sab diya hai. Annual rent is 40 lakhs. Actual rent is 40 lakhs, which includes 10 lakhs pertaining to amenities. So 10 lakh will be taxable in income from other sources, and 30 lakhs will be taxable in the house property. One flat in the property, jo property ka jo one flat hai, 30 lakhs is the total actual rent. Okay, right, for the let out part. But in that one property, which is having a rent of 2,40,000, remains vacant for 4 months. Okay. So one flat, jiska annual rent, see, total annual rent is 40 lakhs. In that, 10 lakh goes to the amenities and 30 lakhs. So even in 2,40,000 annual rent, part will be rental income. I'll write and show you all this. And part will be other income, yeah, which will remain. Like, this is a nice level of the problem, but CMA exam mein to isse bhi bahut easy problem aate hain. What I did yesterday and today in the beginning, that much if you do, it's enough. Vacant for 4 months. He has incurred following expenses. Municipal tax for 2021 you have paid now. Can you deduct? Yes. But 10% rebate is obtained. So in 4 lakh, 10%, 40,000. So you have paid 3,60,000. Can you deduct municipal tax 3,60,000? Yes. Arrears of 1920 you have paid now. Can you deduct? Yes. Municipal tax is allowed on payment basis. So earlier, because I didn't pay, it was due, it was not deductible. Now it is deductible. 140, which includes interest on arrears. Now, if I am paying municipal tax 140, 1920 ka abhi, and this includes interest, interest on arrears is like a penalty because I am paying late. I have to pay late municipal tax with interest. Interest is not allowed. Pure municipal taxes are allowed. But ma'am, this is related to 1920. Chalega. Earlier years, municipal taxes you have paid now allowed to be deducted. Lift maintenance expense. See, you are charging 10 lakhs for other amenities. So related to that 2,40,000 lift maintenance expense, if you have paid, okay, it is allowed. But this includes 30,000 which is paid in cash. Okay. Above 10,000, if you pay any expenses in cash, whether in business head or other source, it's not allowed. Read the problem carefully. Reading the problem is an art. तुम ध्यान से पढ़ो पूरा प्रॉब्लम, अच्छे से पढ़ो, ठीक है? राइट. So lift maintenance expense ये हमने देख लिया है, which includes 30,000 which is made in cash. Salary 240. 240 में 30,000 is not allowed because any expenses above 10,000 paid in cash is not allowed. Ma'am, but 10,000 तो allowed है ना? तो 10,000 तक भी अलाउड नहीं होगा. अगर 10,000 के ऊपर आपने 25,000 रुपए किसी को कैश दे दिए तो मैम 10 तो अलाउ करो. नो, होल एक्सपेंडिचर इज डिसअलाउड. कंप्यूट द टोटल इनकम. सो आर यू रीडिंग द प्रॉब्लम केयरफुली? या दिस इज December 21, इसीलिए आपको ईयर पुराना दिख रहा है. असेसमेंट ईयर 2021, सो दैट इज 20 and 21. सो 20 and 21 करंट ईयर का म्युनिसिपल टैक्स तो पे किए, पुराना भी पे किए. Allowed to be deducted, yes, and he has not opted for the 115 BAC. How is the problem? Read fir se. Rarely you get these kind of the questions wherein rental income will go to house property and other amenities will go to your what do you call it? Other amenities will go to your income from other sources. Okay, right. And pehle they have given the fair rent and municipal value, whichever is higher. So 30 or 27. So 30. This or standard rent, whichever is lower. So 29. That or actual rent. Actual rent is 30 lakhs. और actual rent में अभी तो एक vacant भी है, तो वो vacancy भी कम होगा. Actual rent is always reduced with the vacancy. So I'll work out the problem, but I hope you have followed the structure. If not, humble request, pause the video, read the problem. Reading the question paper carefully is an art. Students don't read it, then they do mistake, then they scratch, then they correct. Time goes off, 3 hours are over, and you're not able to complete your paper. ठीक है? चलो, तो question number 3 हम करते हैं अभी. Business head, this material I have already sent you, but we are going to start it from tomorrow now. आज इसके बाद छोटा सा agricultural income, but very important, that I will take up. Last problem for house property I am doing with amenities. I hope the concept is clear to all of you. ठीक है? चलो. Let us take up this problem number 10 in our material. अभी मैंने आपको जो material telegram में भेजी हूँ, उसमें this is problem number 10, and otherwise this is December 21 actual exam paper. You have to compute the income from house property and other amenities also. Computation of income of Mr. Ravi. करें साथ में? Yeah. And then income from other sources is also there. Particulars, amount. Outer column we'll use for total income. Inner column we will do it. Chalo, let us begin. First is this property is given on rent. So we have to derive the GAV. For that we have step 1. Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. Fair rent 30 lakhs, municipal value 27 lakhs. 30 lakhs or 27 lakhs, whichever is higher. So let us take it as 30 lakhs. Step 1 का answer. Step 2. Step 1 or standard rent, whichever is lower. So step 1, that is 30 lakhs. और स्टैंडर्ड रेंट कितना है प्रॉपर्टी का आपको दिया है 29.8 lakhs, whichever is lower. So 29,80,000 we are taking. Step 3. Step 2 or actual rent, whichever is higher. So what is step 2? 2980. And what is actual rent? Actual rent के लिए आपको अलग अलग करना पड़ेगा. Actual rent के लिए working you can make पीछे or you can do the working here itself. So see, first actual rent is 40 lakhs minus 10 lakhs निकाल दो amenities का. Are you all with me? 40 lakhs you have received, उसमें 10 lakh amenities है जो income from other source में tax होगा. तो ये हो गया आपका 30 lakhs income from other sources, amenities. ठीक है, क्लियर है? Up in 30 lakhs also, one annual rent is there. This is the annual rent, 40 lakhs. उसमें 10 lakhs by 40 lakhs निकाल दो बाहर. Same way 2,40,000 है unrealized rent. One second, dear students, some trouble is there in the screen. So first I'm doing. Yeah. Unrealized rent is 2,40,000 into 2,40,000 into 30 by 40. Are you all with me? 2,40,000 is the total rent. उसमें भी 10 lakhs तो क्या है amenities. So whatever is total 40, उसमें 10 amenities है, 30 rent है. तो in 240, which is unrealized rent, उसमें भी how much is the actual rent? 30. 10 will be amenities. 3:10 ratio. I mean, say 30:10 or 3:1 ratio you can take. So 3 is your income, 1 is there. So 3 by 4 is your rental income, which is not received. And this is the annual rent, 240. And this remains vacant for 4 months, 4 by 12. This is 12 months का annual rent. तो जो unrealized rent है वो कितना हो जाएगा आपका 240 into 30 by 40 into 4 by 12. 4 months you didn't receive, and that is coming to 60,000. So from actual rent 30 lakhs, 60,000 is not received. So what is actual rent? 29,40,000. पहले तो ये क्लियर है या नहीं? मैं थोड़े एडवांस लेवल के प्रॉब्लम करा रही हूँ. Then only this coaching is worth it. So I hope it is very clear to all of you. Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. That or standard rent, whichever is lower. That or actual rent. But in actual rent, 2,40,000 is the rent of one property total. फिर उसका भी 10 by 4 तो वहां जाएगा, 3 by 4 I mean say 1 by 4 वहां जाएगा amenities में, 3 by 4 rental income hai, and it is vacant. They said that it is vacant for 4 months by 12. So 60,000. Now actual rent. In step 3, 2980 or actual rent, whichever is higher. So we should take 2980. But here actual rent is low only due to vacancy. So we will take that right down. Ma'am, you said in the third step, whichever is higher. But if actual rent is low due to vacancy, take your time. This is the concept I started the class yesterday. Actual rent is low only due to vacancy. It's a challenge to take these type of problems. I'm telling you how lucrative and easy my class can be if I take all my material problems and easy वाले problem. Institute का मटेरियल के हर प्रॉब्लम आप कर पाओगे अगर आपको ये पता है तो. हाँ, Arun and Bimal, one problem is there in the study material. Do that today. If you have any doubt, ask me. Actual rent is low in the step 3 because of vacancy. अगर vacancy नहीं रहता तो what is actual rent? 30 lakhs. 30 lakhs is higher than your step 2, 2980. So even though actual rent is low, take actual rent as your GAV. That is 29,40,000. Actual rent as GAV. Actual rent is low due to vacancy. Hence, GAV is equal to actual rent, even though it is low. Ma'am, you said third step 2940 or 2980, whichever is higher. Correct. But 2940 is low only because of vacancy. Agar vacancy nahi rehta, to ye 30 lakhs. That is 2980. So we will take this. ठीक है? Right. Chalo. So we got the GAV. Less municipal taxes. Municipal taxes you have paid one by 1 year. 2021 के लिए you have paid 4 lakh and 40,000 rebate you have got. So 360 you have paid. और पुराने साल का 2019-20 का you have paid 1,40,000, but in that 25,000 is interest. So only 1,15,000 is allowed. So 4,75,000 municipal tax paid by owner is allowed, and your NAV is coming to, now the problem is easy, 24,65,000. Then you have standard deduction, 30% of the NAV. 30% of the NAV, 739,500. Done? Right. And there is no loan or anything. Interest on loan is not there. I'm just writing nil, but kuch bhi nahi hai. So you are getting income from house property. See, they will not give you all the adjustment. Pre-construction or kuch bhi nahi hai. This is easy. Income from house property. Now income from other sources mein amenities. Amenities के लिए what is my income? 10 lakhs. Out of 40 lakhs, 30 lakhs we have taken as rent. 30 में से unrealized rent deduct किया. तो वो जो 10 lakhs है, उसमें भी तो unrealized होगा ना? Unrealized नहीं है, actually it's due to vacancy. It's not unrealized rent. Unrealized rent is rent which is due and not received. Vacancy. Loss due to vacancy. 2,40,000. Same. Here 2,40,000 ka 3 by 4th. Yahan 1 by 4th. Into 4 months. 240 into 1 by 240 into 1 by 4 into 4 by 12. So that is coming to 20,000. So net amenities income is coming to 9,80,000. It's 10 lakh, but 20,000 is because of vacancy you are not receiving, you can deduct it. Okay, so 9,80,000. Now continue reading the problem. For other amenities, you have taken the income. So related to that, lift maintenance expenses incurred 2,40,000. अब उसमें 10/4 नहीं करना. लिफ्ट मेंटेनेंस अदर एमिनिटीज के लिए ही आप ले रहे हैं, तो अदर एमिनिटीज का वन ऑफ द एक्सपेंस इज लिफ्ट मेंटेनेंस, तो वो दैट होल एक्सपेंस इज अलाउड. Oh, sorry. Really, one adjustment is there, no, in this. Lift maintenance is 240, 30,000 DA, disallowed, paid in cash. Cash में पे किए तो नहीं allowed है ना, तो 2,10,000 ही allowed होगा आपको. Correct है? 30,000 is paid in cash, other amenities में not allowed. Now, salary of 88,000 is paid to staff for collecting rent as well as other amenities charges. तो वो salary to staff rent के लिए भी है other, तो other amenities तो 1/4 ही है ना, rent ही है 3/4. Ma'am, why didn't you deduct here? Standard deduction. Standard deduction में collection expense, lift, insurance, watchman सब आ गया. But income from other sources related to amenities, whatever is the actual expense for lift maintenance, we will take whole. Don't say, ma'am, lift maintenance ka bhi to 1/4 hi lo. Lift maintenance is a part of other amenities, but salary we are paying not only for other amenities, we are paying salary for house property also, for collecting rent also. So 1/4 only we will deduct here. $22,000. Now, what is your income? Income from other sources. 7,48,000. Nice problem, no? For other amenities, 10 lakhs. In that also, one portion is vacant. उसने rent ही नहीं दिया तो, see, the person who's not going to pay rent because it was vacant, तो other amenities भी नहीं आएगा ना. For 2,40,000, if 3/4 rent is not received because it was vacant for 4 months, so same for 2,40,000, 1/4 amenities is also not received. Liftman's 240, all the expenses are allowed. Don't do 1/4, 3/4. Because lift आप ले ही रहे हो lift के maintenance के लिए amenities expense, but 30,000 is not allowed because this lift expenses 30,000 is paid in cash. Above 10,000 cash expenses are not allowed. And then salary 88,000 is there, and only 1/4 is related to amenities. तो मैम 3/4 is related to house property, तो ऊपर क्यों नहीं लिया? House property में standard deduction allowed है ना आपको. So what's your house property income? 17,25,500. And other source we know. So what is the total income? We can calculate. भूख लग रही है, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी नहीं पढ़ना, छोटा सा टॉपिक. ठीक है, done. Just 5 minutes. Allow me to wind up this, and we are closing the class for today. We will continue tomorrow with business head. House property किसी दिन agricultural income is very small topic. So whenever time permits like this, I will take it. I'm not taking now because I took a lot of time. I think last 45 minutes I've been working out these advanced level problems. अच्छे हैं ना? Other amenities and all. Problems are going to be easier than this. This I've taken for practice. और ये तो बहुत easy था. ये वाला तो बहुत easy था. Reconstruction interest आकाश के लिए हमने workout किए. One part was used for profession, 25%. So same like I did it in class. Yeah. This one was little tricky for other amenities. And vacancy part, 3/4 you are not receiving the rent. So 1/4 you are not even receiving the amenities for 2,40,000 for 4/12 months, because that's given. Okay, right. Come back to Sarathi material. One theory question is there about the deemed ownership, which is asked. 1 minute. Yeah. We've already solved all problem. 1 or 2 concepts are there I want to take up. Did you understand yesterday the concept of unrealized rent? Arrears of rent? Ye sab kal kar liya tha. Yeah, this one is very nice. Ye to you all know ki 2 properties can be taken as self-occupied. This one. See, if property is held as stock in trade, you know what is stock in trade? Buying and selling the property is your business. And if it is vacant, bana ke rakh liya, 2 let hai, vacant hai, vacant hai. How many years it will be allowed as vacant? For 2 years. After that, it will be treated as deemed let out. See, as a specified head of charge is provided for house property, annual value of the house property cannot be brought to tax under any other head. So rental income is always taxable under house property, right? Property is held as stock in trade, buying and selling property. However, annual value being held as stock in trade would be treated as nil for a period of 2 years from end of financial year in which certificate of completion is obtained from the competent authority. Example, Mr. Beans is involved in real estate business. He got certificate of completion for a building on 10/12/21. So for 2 years from March 22, 2 years from the year ending after you get the certificate of completion. Certificate of completion you got on 10th December 21. So March 22 say 2 years. March 22 say 2 years. That is 22, 23, 23, 24. If the property is vacant, property is ready to occupy, certificate भी मिल गई, लेकिन खाली पड़ा है, to let board लगा के रखा है, खाली पड़ा है. 2 years you can take it as nil. After March 24, from 1st April 24, even if it is vacant, it will be treated as deemed let out, and on notional income you have to pay tax. हाउस प्रॉपर्टी पढ़ा? हाँ मैम पढ़ा, सब आता है. 4 बार पढ़ने के बाद भी स्टूडेंट्स डोंट नो दिस प्रोविजन, एंड यू टेक इट. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर MCQs. Tax on notional rental income for builders to be calculated only after 2 years from the end of the year in which certificate of completion कब मिला? December 21. उसके बाद क्या आता है? March 22. वहां से 2 years, March 23, March 24, खत्म. March 24 के बाद, even if the certificate of occupancy is there, but if the property is not let out, then it will be treated as what? Deemed let out, and on notional income you have to pay tax. Give some examples wherein the property income is not taxable. So these are some of the examples. Let us quickly check. Let us not miss out 1% chance on losing the marks on theory question. Whether it is CA exam or CMA exam, your last question is theory question. And if you are attempting that, you should know. You know, I'm giving you this big list. इसमें से list any 6 items जो property income पे tax नहीं लगता है. Income from farm building, for keeping all farm equipments and outhouse which you have given on rent, it's not taxable. Annual value of any one palace of ex-ruler. Yeah. So if those ancestral properties are there and now you have given it the palace to Taj and they have converted into hotel, they are giving you rental income. One of the properties rental income is exempt. Property income of local authorities, scientific research association, schools, colleges exempt. See, school colleges after the educational institute ka time 4:30 ke baad, they give the classes for music classes being conducted by some institute, or they give their pool for, or they give their classrooms for some IIT or other technical training. So school is earning rental income. They don't have to pay tax, provided that school is run by a trust. Yeah. Same for hospitals, not private hospitals, hospitals which are running under trust. If they get rental income, it's exempt. Property income of trade union, house property which is held for charitable purpose, yeah, orphanage, old age home है और उनके पास एक हॉल है जिसका रेंटल इनकम आता है, they don't have to pay tax. House property income of political party, this you section 13A and B, this you do it in final, so much important. Property used for own business, you can't get income from yourself. So if 25% of property is used for business, don't make column for self-occupied and let out. If it is used for business, that 25% actual expenses are allowed as business expenses, the way we have worked out. Yes. And now very nice concept. Owner, to you all know, whoever is the owner of the property, he has to pay the tax irrespective of he's actually getting the rental income or he has diverted. But here, are you all with me? All clear until now? Can you put me a message? Deemed owner. Okay, right. Under the following cases, income is taxable under income from house property in the hands of person, even if the property is not registered in his name. So there are few cases wherein even if you are not registered, you're said to be deemed owner. Like when property has been transferred to spouse for inadequate consideration, other than agreement to live apart. Agreement to live apart matlab divorce. Husband has transferred the property to wife out of gift, love and affection. वो property से whatever income is derived, it will be taxable in the hands of husband. Because कोई sale consideration है ही नहीं, out of love and affection. But husband has transferred the property to wife and they are getting divorced. Then that property belongs to wife. That income will not be clubbed in the hands of husband because husband-wife relationship is not there. Where the property is transferred to a minor child. Okay. Except a transfer to minor married daughter, but minor ko transfer kiye to property income will be taxable in the hands of the parent only. Minor's only income which is not clubbed in the hands of the parent is talent income that they are paying tax. Where individual holds impartible estate, you know, ancestral property है जिसका partition नहीं हो सकता है, तो like AOP, BOI they are paying and they are all said to be the deemed owner and they are paying the tax together. Where individual is a member of a cooperative. Have you seen cooperative housing societies where 8 flats are there? Each flat owner is the owner of his own flat और जो land है ना जिस पे apartment बना है उसका 1/8 हिस्सा. If there are 8 owners, 1/8 part of the land, undivided share of the land, I am the deemed owner because I am one of the flat owner. है ना? Right? Where the property has been transferred in part performance of the contract. But title of C, I have transferred the property to my friend, say on 28th of April 2023. But paperwork and all took time and we went for registration of the property on 15th April 2023. That is the day when my friend got his name and my property is transferred. So I am the owner of the property actually in paper on 15th April. But in part performance 28th February को मैंने उसको possession दे दिया, चाबी दे दिया. He paid me the whole amount. It's only the registration part or title or the paperwork is missing. Then from 28th February onwards, my friend is treated as deemed owner in part performance of the contract because payment has come, possession is given, only legally mera naam hai, so no problem. He's the deemed owner. Last one, where you are holder of the power of attorney, you are said to be the deemed owner. Where the ownership is in dispute, whoever is receiving the rent, he's treated as deemed owner and he has to pay the tax. And last is where property is taken on lease for a period not less than 12 years. Lessee is deemed to be owner. You know, pehle ke time pe shops, godowns, all these were given on rent for long lease. Pagdi system, it used to be called in Hindi. So more than 12 years, if you have given on rent to that same person and old system, then he becomes the deemed owner. Ab ye sab nahi chal raha hai. Nowadays, rental agreements are prepared only for 11 months. After that, new agreement, 5% rent increase ke saath. Fir new agreement, fir rent increase. And it is like that, but older days. So these are all the cases wherein you are deemed to be the owner. कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी है, स्पाउस को किया, माइनर चाइल्ड को किया, पार्ट परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. रीड इट. इफ यू हैव any doubt you can ask. Okay, and all the problems I have taken major one partition के साथ सब किए हैं. ये देखो इस टाइप के प्रॉब्लम भी एग्जाम में आते हैं. लाइक इंदू is receiving $1,500 rent from a property in USA and dollar rate is given to you. She has another property in Mumbai also, ground floor let out and first floor. So, you know, triple column, just routine. Foreign income, if you're getting in dollars rate will be given to you. यहाँ दिया हुआ आपको. Yeah. $1 is 60 rupees. So 1,500 per month into 12 into 60. This is your GAV. Less municipal taxes. Yay. Huh? So routine mein you just have to solve the problem. That's all. I thought yesterday after half the class I started house property. तो आज भी half the class में होगा और फिर हम agricultural income करेंगे. But time went off because we took some quality good questions today from the past exams, RTPs, MTPs, right? And lot of MCQs are also asked from house property that I have emphasized yesterday and today. Arrears of rent, unrealized rent, pre-construction interest, 1/5 every year. Okay, so practice all that. This material which I'm using, PDF is already there in the Telegram group. You can take a printout. For tomorrow, be ready with business head and capital gain printout. Business head is vast. It will take minimum 2 classes, I'm saying, more depending on your response in the chat box. Yes, so one concept, one problem I want to work out. Depreciation एक problem करेंगे, scientific research एक, preliminary expense एक, and then when I do total problem, one super 4-point formula format I'll give you कि कोई भी एडलेस में कभी भी आपको कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं होगा. So that's what is the class for tomorrow. If you have any suggestions, welcome. And live chat I'm not able to maintain. So those who are really enjoying this video, once the video is uploaded after the live is over, if there you comment, your comment will stay and that motivates me also to give more and more. Any suggestions are welcome. See the level of problems we are going to do for business head for tomorrow. Inter final सबके लिए ये lecture 2 दिन के lectures बहुत useful रहेंगे. Because in final the pumping heart of your exam is math. And math के लिए you need to know add and less concept. So see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for connecting with us, trusting me and helping me take this live class with all of you. Thanks to the technology that I could bring all my pearls, you know, my students of 12, 13 years back students, I am able to connect with all of you. That is all because of technology. They are in Bangalore, they are in Hyderabad, they are in somewhere else, other cities, and still we are able to connect. So thank you so much to this technology with this gratitude. Have some good gratitude that will help you to overcome, right? So wish you very